Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. In this one, we're taking a look officially at the new core system that they got. They got the core booster in game. You probably already know where this video is going to go, but I got to give my opinion on it. I wanted to gather more data. I wanted to get all the way to tier 30 if I could and actually do some of this stuff, but the way the system's set up is just not conducive to that. So we're gonna do it now. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. Easiest way to follow on content, chat, etc. And if you want to help out the YouTube algorithm, hammer down like buttons, click notification bells, all that sort of thing. All right, let's check it out.
WolverThor!
All right, so what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? The game is recently added, if you go to headquarters, Pegasus base, core booster. So you can see where I'm at. I'm in tier 9. For anyone who's unaware, what this is it increases your chances to get a better core. What I mean by that, and I'll show you right here. So in headquarters, if you're a newer player, up here in this section, Pegasus base, you've got the core synthesizer. What happens is if you click 3 cores here, you can see the chance to upgrade is only 10%. They now have this little box here that says use bonus chance. If you click it, it applies whatever bonus chance that you've got, okay? Now, you can also see that it adds another mat to throw in here, these core booster essence. We'll get to that in a second. But it increases the chance, right? So originally 10% based on how far I am into my core booster, I get an additional 4.5 for a whopping 14.5%. We'll get to that in a second. So the whole concept here of the core booster is to increase that rate. I will say in the previous videos that I've had, very excited to hear about the concept of being able to do that. Because as you can see, at 10%, you're thinking, oh, that is, I'm never going to do that. And that's exactly what happened with me is I never did it. I didn't want to do it. And even here, when you go from 3 to 4, it's at 50%. I'm like, ooh, I don't love that. And it's like, okay, add 4.5%. All right. Well, so first thing we got to look at is what does it take to get to that point? You can see that I am at tier 9. I'm currently stopped by unrefined cores. All right. One tidbit before I dive into all of this is this give button. Whether you like this system or not is a different conversation, but this give button should go to every single character storage. Should go to your character you're on, should go to all 8 or 9 of other your characters, depending on how many are in the game, and it should go to your squad storage. And it should specifically say, and there could be breaks in here, Black Widow storage, Captain Marvel storage, Doctor Strange storage, squad storage, and you click it from there because it is a royal pain in the butt to go hunt things down here. All right. So that's that. So we're talking about just leveling this thing up. Now, like I said, I'm only at tier 9. You can see all of these different things, how the percents go up. From tier 1, it's nothing. Now the max tier is 30. So we already know right now in game, the max you can get is 15%. I don't like that. That's bad. You know what I mean? It's just like, what's going on here? Now, also on top of that, as you can see, what's interesting to me here is that you can see the core booster essence consumption. So at this point, I believe that tells you how much core booster essence you can consume if you use that percent. So that's something to factor into. So basically they're saying the higher percent you get, the lower amount of essence that you'll use. So it's an encouragement to sort of get that tier higher. Great, fine, whatever. Again, not the point of what we're doing here. So right now we know in tier 9 where we're at. Now, what did it take for me to get to tier 9? Let's look at that for a second. We'll bring this up. So I'm going to move my screen around a little bit here while we do this. You can see, essentially, let me move this all the way over so you can see the first now. Now, what I've discovered in this is like each step, it gives you one more. So this is tier 1. This was tier 2. So you can kind of see as you get each step further, it requires one additional level of something. And generally speaking, in these first few tiers, it's 3 and 4 star badges. When you get into tier 3, it starts getting, tier 3, no, actually, yeah, I got to fix I've got this little broken up, but tier 3 here, you start getting into your 5 star badges. Now, in my current tier 4, it started getting into 6 star badges. Now, I've seen other people level this up, and they have different levels of whether it's a 5 star badge or a 6 star badge or something. So there seems to be some RNG based on where you're at in this system. I don't know how that's determined. There is clearly one point that is set in stone for everybody, and I'll get to that in a second. So one of the things I got here is a 1 star costume. Now, look, I've complained about fodder for a long, long time. So anytime I'm using any fodder on anything other than costumes, I don't like it, period. I don't care if it's 1 star or not. I need as much fodder as I can possibly get. Again, one more reason I'm concerned about squad battles is because if you're going to make me incentivize me to have a larger squad, and again, this is an MMO. MMOs, the ones I like to play and choose to play typically, I focus on one character, and if I want to have more characters, maybe I'll do so. But that's up to me. All right. So right now, personally, I don't believe Alliance Raid is all that advantageous in having that many characters. Yes, it's easier, but I think a well-planning alliance with good characters can still do well in that. Okay. Is it easier to do well if you've got, somebody who's got 10 characters? Absolutely. Does that person do better in, their alliance ranking within their alliance? Yes, they do. But at the end of the day, like I said in one of my previous videos, you're essentially just going towards your alliance ranking to get, some companion shards. And companion shard grinding in a hole it takes forever. So to spend a ton of money to get a giant squad to get a little bit of a thing, I don't look at that as something that's like they're making us build all these characters. Nah, if you want, you can go ahead, but your gain on it is not going to be crazy. Now, having said that, squad battles is still to come. So when they throw 1 star costumes in here, I'm like, all right, one more reason to worry. Now, again, my tier 5, it was a bunch of badges. My big bottleneck for these ended up being, or my difficulty was the 5 star battle badges. I was sort of surprised at how hard that was. Now I can do farming, and that's what I do. And I just make sure that I keep all of my junk 5 star badges. For the 6 star badges, I still had some left over from, level 70, level 60, some of the old invasions that they don't longer apply anymore because now we have special badges. So I've been using those. Mainly because I didn't get rid of them because I thought at some point maybe I'd use them on other characters or something. And here's that something, right? But ultimately, it's clearing out my storage. As I got into tier 6, I got more 5 stars, some 4 star. Now a 2 star costume. Spoiler alert, I'm not there yet, but eventually it will require a 3 star costume. I think it might be at tier 16 if I remember correctly. I don't like it. What are you doing? If it eventually requires a 4 and 5 star costume, honestly, we'll get into it, but I'll tell you now, I just won't do it. I just won't do it. I just won't use this system. So a lot of dev time wasted on a system for what? And we'll get into that more in a second again. So as we got into tier 6, we started getting to unstable convergium as well. That's not a huge deal for me personally, because I've been farming for months and months and months. So I have, I think 90,000 unstable convergium, 6 or somewhere between 4,000 and 7,000 of the green and 1,000 of the main one. So in tier 7, we got more 5 and 6 star badges, more unstable convergium, and then they added mid-grade defensive enhancers, which requires convergium and some gold. All right, not a huge deal, but still something that I need to do to build up just tiers so that I can build up towards a chance of something. All right, now remember, you're doing a little something to do a little something to get a chance at something. All right, so hold on to that there a little bit. Now on this one, again, more unstable convergium. These are more mid-grade defense enhancers. Attack. I got an attack enhancer at one point. 3 star 4 battle badges. Now, and then I got to tier 9, and it got into unrefined cores, which you saw when I was on this screen. This is where I'm at now. Now, you can get these. I've got 3. You can get these in a few different spots. I think there's an event. It is made it so that now you are going to want to make sure to do Spec Ops. All right? If you care about this, you want to do Spec Ops. All right, I'm not wholesale against that per se. I was already doing Spec Ops anyway. All right, no big deal. But, it keeps going and going and going. So again, I haven't gone all the way up, but essentially I'm using all of these mats to be able to build towards a chance at something. So when I come here, what I don't like about this is I have a 10% chance and then a guaranteed chance of, it adds 15 if I was at tier 30. So I'm now at 25% chance and I have to spend 50 unstable, 15 of the stable, and then 5 of the crystallized plus my essence. Now at that point in time, as we saw, it goes down to 15 essence. But still, and again, it's just a chance, right? Now, even if you do succeed in the chance, you have an ability to get you don't even get to choose which core you get. You might get a yellow, you might get a red, you might get a green, you might get a blue. Okay, say you get the color you want, well then you've got another chance of getting the stat. There's 2 different types of stats you can get per color. So we're doing all this work to be able to have a chance of something, to have a chance of something, to have a chance of something. I do not like this and it's at all. I think, honestly, this is a gigantic miss. Gigantic. Now, is it partially expectations? Maybe, but I think it's made the system worse. Okay, that's what I think. I now am going back and using materials on something that, like, I'm like, I don't even have a guaranteed chance to do this. I'm not gonna do it. Now I'm building my tiers up for research because I'm a content creator and I want to make videos. I want to share information like this to you. My thumbnail on this should be trash, do not use, don't waste your time. Now, for the designers behind this, for the developers behind this, I think it's an interesting concept. Okay, but I feel like this got issued and you weren't done, or you weren't done looking at it. Are you gonna have more tiers past 30? Well, now how much more stuff is it gonna take? I'm already up at least 3-star costumes. I'm up to 2 5-star battle badges, at least 1-star, 6-star battle badges. You know, if you make it too hard to increase that, that's a potential problem. Now, I think if there was something in the game that, you know, I could go hunt, I could go farm, that I had to feed into this, no problem. No problem. But what you're doing is you're making me take things that I could potentially use elsewhere in this thing. Now, what it should be like, anybody who's watched the Back to the Future, I think it was 2, where they actually got the flux capacitor where you could just put anything in it. Anything. Okay, fine. Maybe that's the way this should have been. When I'm talking to Rocket, you know, give me the choice of what I'm going to put in here. If I come in here, it's just like, core booster. All right, to make the next step. Okay, and I'm fine at this point where you're saying 10 unrefined cores. Put those stages in wherever you want. All right, but prior to those stages, or outside of those stages rather, what you should do or offer me is maybe a 1-star badge gives X% up through tier 5. You know, and after tier 5, it's a little bit lower. You know, and the amount it increases is a little bit lower percent-wise, but it always gives me, say it always gives me, you know, 400 XP. All right, so don't worry about a percent, but a 1-star badge will always give me 400 XP. And I could just dump as many 1-star badges as I want in here. Eventually it won't do much, but I'm choosing the material I drop in here. I don't have to take a 6-star battle badge unless I choose, because it gives me 10,000 XP. Well, then I choose to put that 6-star battle badge in there. Or if I want to use unstable convergium, then okay, 10,000 unstable convergium gets me, you know, to a certain point. Now again, you're going to hit a threshold. I've got no problem with that, where it only, you know, the game would warn you don't use 10,000 because you can't get past the unrefined core spot. But to sit here and ask me to use costumes or require me to use that, even the battle badges, the 5 and 6-star ones, I don't like it. I just don't like it, because One, you're taking away fodder from stuff that I might need elsewhere. These are a source of gold and conversion for people, which is a bottleneck in the game. I understand that you want to try to control bottlenecks as you look at my 82 million gold, and that's how I got a lot of that. Okay, I get that. But you know, it's not that easy, and I've been doing that for months, and I'm very, you know, frugal in what I spend my gold on. I don't do a lot of transmutation, so I don't think there's a lot of players in the game that are necessarily at that point. You know, a lot of people will be in, you know, anywhere from 3 to 25 mil, and when they do something, they're back down to close to 0. So I would like for Netmarble to revisit this, frankly. I wish this would have been, you know, a beta test would have been done with this, with, you know, either some of the content creator core, or maybe some of the top end alliances, some free to play alliances, for people to go, how do we feel about this? Now, I've also, speaking of free to play, I've heard some people say, well, whales might like this, and free to play, you know, hate it. I'm telling you right now, I haven't talked to one whale or kraken that thinks this is good. Not one. Are they less bothered by it? Maybe, but that's generally how games work. I mean, any game you go to, typically krakens or whales are less bothered by most dynamics in games than free to play, because they'll buy their way to get to something, versus a free to play who will have to work. So the balance in gaming is, how hard is it for a free to play player to grind something versus a whale to buy something, and for them to be as close as they can be without making the whale feel like, well, I'm not going to spend money if I don't get an advantage. Because I heard a stat the other day that I think, you know, 80% or 50, somewhere between 50 or 80% of the funding or the income from games comes from like 20 to 40% of the player base, or the 40% might be high, but it's like a 20% of the player base. So you've got to keep that whale 20% player base a little bit more engaged, right? Because otherwise the game dies if it's not, especially when they're free to play. Anyway, I'm going on giant tangents here. So, the system, it needs to be revisited. That's just, it needs to be able to go to 100. You need to, like, I don't understand why you're asking people to do customs in this. I don't understand why you're asking for 6-star badges. I don't understand why you're forcing me to put something on here. Make it so that this is just one aspect of it. One, like, again, tier 9, the first step of tier 9, you get 10 unrefined cores. Great, fine. Maybe at tier 12, it's the same thing. Fine. You know what I mean? But in between those tiers, let me pick. Give set rates for each piece of item that gives me a certain amount of XP. Let me be able to farm that, because you know what I can do? Is I can go to training grounds. You know, I can go to, I can go AFK farm, you know, and get badges and just dump them in here. Maybe I can use training manuals if I want. I can use reports if I want. I can use anything in the game that I can find I can want. And each one of those things give you a certain amount. Shoot, if you want to put a special costume in here, let me. And it gives me 100,000 XP. All right, cool. And on top of that, I want you to add the fact that I can get to 100%. Now, the last part. Yeah, I'm not done, right? I'm not done. Can you believe it? After all that, I'm not done. So the thing that we've got to finish up here, use bonus chance, these essences. How do you get these? How do you get these? So you can get some from Battle Challenge. That's where I got 30 from. So each week you should get, I think, I haven't done my last 4 or 5 levels of Battle Challenge. So, you know, you can go here and you can see I've got to finish mine. So I got these somewhere, you know, in these tiers. I don't remember which one, but, you know, in the week, there you go. Or 37s, that's an unrefined core. So you can see where you get some unrefined cores, you know. So it's going to encourage people to do battle challenges again. You know, so you can get, you know, a number of unrefined cores there. And as you go through here, there's going to be, at some points, I got essences from somewhere. I don't know where. It was in here somewhere. I can't see it off the top of my head. Looks like it's early, so that's good. I'm just clicking here, hoping that I see it. But anyway, maybe as I did it, I got it, but whatever. I got some essences that I can allegedly get from here, or that I got at some point. I don't see it in here, but either way, you get some unrefined cores and some essences. Great, thanks. All right, so it says Battle Challenge. Shop. Oh, well, we got extract essence. I'll get to that in a second. Shop. All right, so where's it at? All right, well, items. Let's find core essence. Is it in here yet? Core booster material. Search. All right. So I can go here and spend 2,000 cores to get 1 to 2 of the core boost. Again, for a chance. Okay, well, you also get a core mysterious box. Well, you're going to end up with one of these. All right. Okay, so are you going to pay for that? I don't know. Maybe not. And then 27 bucks for what? Not even a full chance. And yeah, 10 unrefined cores. That's okay. But nothing all that special. You know, I might buy this one for science purposes just to keep my tiers going. Do not do that. Do not. I actually might not do it just because I can't even encourage it. So those are the only spots that you can get as far as outside of the core essence. Now, the other part of it was when you click here, the extract essence. What is that? What is that? You can't click and go to it. So that's here. So we're at the core synthesizer, you know, at the Pegasus base. You click here and you go extract essence. So what you can do here, similar to the convergence box, is you can put something in here and build up your numbers. Okay, well, right now I don't have any items that I can drop in here, but it looks like I can do badges. All right, that's cool. You know, and it's like, oh, does it take everything? Oh, it does. All right. Well, no, I'm okay. Well, luckily it's like, all right. Oh, what about my 4s? All right. It's like, okay, well, I didn't get very far in that. So now you're just going to start considering maybe doing that with your badges. Now let's look at something like, how much is this worth it? 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Is that no 9? All right, well, that's all the 6s I got, and I already checked the special one here. It does the same amount. So 9 6s, 7 5s to get 1. Not 30, but 1. And you need 30, anywhere from 15 to 30 of those to be able to drop in to have a chance at getting the actual core to be successful. Which again, you then have a chance at getting a color that you might want or might not. And then you've got the other roll of the stat that you might or might not want. So what do we have there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we said 9. So 9 times 30 means you need 276 star badges in that. And 7. You need 210 5 stars badges just to get a 30 essence to be able to have a chance at successfully rolling a core, for the chance at the color you want, that would also have the chance at the stat you want. Nope, 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 nope. So my advice to you is don't waste your time with this. Go ahead, feel free to build your tier up if you want, if you've got extra materials, but do not worry. Do not waste your time building this up. I'm sorry, Netmarble, but this is a huge miss. It just is. We've got fodder problems. I'm sure there's some, metric or something that you're looking at that seems to make sense for this. Maybe some of the whales will buy into it. A lot of the whales that I've talked to think this is terrible. They're going through it just to test it to see what it is. But most of them are just sharing with me and others who are going, this is terrible. Like this, did you know that there was a 3-star at, tier 16 or whatever it was? And it's like, I wonder if they're going to eventually ask for a 4 or 5-star costume. And if they do, are you kidding? Honestly? Anyway, so I'm going to end it here. A little bit longer rant video than normal. I don't do these very often, but I've been generally happy with the gameplay. While I knew there was a lot of RNG issues in game and that there's balance issues, which I do believe have improved, I think this core situation is just made a bad system worse. That's what it comes down to. So I appreciate you guys lasting this long. If you have, mentioned earlier, Discord link in the description below. If you want to help support the channel, there's a join button down to the right. Always appreciate anything you do there. If you want to help out that algorithm or share with your friends, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandma, grandpa, go ahead and do that. Hammer down like buttons, click notification bell, subscribe, and until next time, hope you have a wonderful day.